course.
Okay. Today we have new guest Ramon from Spain. Yeah, Ramon, welcome.
Hello.
Introduce yourself, please, to the group.
Sorry, can you repeat?
Introduce yourself for the group, please. Be welcome.
Okay. My name is Ramon. I live in a city in Spain called Cáceres. I'm very pleased to meet you and to stay here with all of you.
Okay. Anita, my partner, do you know her? Anita from chat box too. Yesterday we were together.
Oh,
Do you
okay.
know her? Do you know her?
Yeah, I think I didn't talk with her, but I remember, or I think that she was in the same.
Breakout rooms. Okay. Anita got two questions for you. Okay, please, Anita. The first one and the second.
Okay, the first one, we were talking about the way of learning or memorizing things, you know. We want to know what's your method to memorize things, to learn language, you know. And the second one is, do you prefer to learn by your own, or do you prefer to be in a group with your tutor or teacher? What's your method? And, you know, and all these things.
In other words, sharing your experience with us, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Who starts?
You, Ramon. You,
Ramon.
Ah, oh, okay.
You, Ramon, because you are new in the group, okay?
Okay.
We are discussing in the first part. We are discussing.
Yeah. Okay. I'm a little lost. Sorry. Well, for the first question, the method I try to practice for memorize, I don't know, vocabulary or structures or new sentences, is to do it in a context. It's easier to me remember the meaning of the word if I try to learn it into a sentence, and not like work alone. I don't know. In my self vocabulary, I try to when I describe or I look for the meaning of a word, I try to write down 3 or 4 sentences with that word, and then yeah, definitely I prefer to learn with others, with people, with a teacher, because I think it's a good idea to have a partner with higher skills than you to correct your mistakes to make corrections. Yeah,
that's okay.
More or less.
Second one, please, Anita. Unmute yourself.
Okay, sorry. The second one, he's already answered, you know, that the second question, yeah?
Automatically, it was automatically, okay.
Yeah.
Could you please, Ramon, share more experience in your journey in English?
Yeah. Well, I remember that I started to study learn English when I was, I don't know, probably 8 years old, I think. Yeah. in my school in the north of Spain. Uh, um, at the first moment, I I get in touch with English. I realized that it was my cup of tea. I liked very much to learn new words. I have been studying English almost all my life, but I'm not very comfortable with the method of a traditional system here in Spain to teach and to learn language. Um, I I feel something like I have been year after year learning a lot of grammar rules. I don't know how to make sentences, a lot of things. But the most important thing, in my opinion, for example, speaking or the practical use of the language, I have a big lack, or or I'm not very good at that practical use of English. So some years ago, I tried to change my I don't know my way to learn English. Went to the here in Spain. The name is the Escuela Oficial de Idiomas, is official language school. They have a very high level. I started with V2, I think, yeah. And the last year, I obtained my degree or my title in C1, and right now I try to obtain C2 level.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
It's a real, achievement,
But
C1, I'm very impressed,
yeah. But I still feel that I'm not good enough to I don't know, in speaking and sometimes in listening. It's a big problem for me.
If you struggle in English, you speaking. That will be speaking.
Yeah.
I think for everybody. Yeah. Okay. But I have a good word for you. You came along to the right place. The right place to speak in English. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Because in this place we have meetings every single day. Okay. No excuses. There's no excuses, Ramon. Okay, Sunil, my partner from India, will ask you something. Okay, Sunil, please, Sunil.
Yeah. Okay. Like, what is the question?
Feel free.
You want me to?
Feel free. Feel free to ask him anything you want.
Like,
anything you want.
Okay. So I heard like Ramon completely, like the way he has started his speaking journey. So, and he's living in a kind of country where most of the people, I think, don't speak English. So situation is kind of similar with me as well, because when I started learning English, I guess a year ago, so I had few difficulties, and how Ramon explained that how he had developed his own way to learn English, and he always preferred to be a self learner. He don't like to depend over a tutor. So I wanted to know that when you had started, like initially, like what kind of things you did in your initial 4 or 5 months. Like, I know when you start something new on your own, it is always difficult to think that what should you start from, like from where you should start. So like, from where did you start? Like from you direct went to people and try to speak with them, or you approach something different? So I want to hear about that.
Okay. Please, Ramon.
Yeah, I'm not very sure if I understand the real direction of your question. But if not, please correct me. But if you are asking me at the beginning what kind of activity did to improve my English, well. It was many years ago. I think that right now it's very easy to obtain resources in English. You can read everything that you want through internet. You can get access to a lot of podcasts, movies, series. But when I started, it was quite difficult to find something to read or a movie in English to watch, or I don't know. Even people to speak face to face in English. So I remember after my I don't know if the correct way to say in English is the military service or my time in the army. Well, I started to work in a hotel. There, sometimes we have foreign customers from USA or Britain or something like that. I remember I was working like a waiter in the hotel, and I remember that I asked to the ladies who did the cleanup of the rooms. I asked if they find any newspaper or magazine in the bins from the customers when they read and throw away, that collect it for me to have something to read in English. For example, this is an activity, a bit strange activity that I did to get something to practice my English. And then I have been here in Spain in 2 or 3 camps of immersion in English with native people that it was a high high quality jump or step in my English.
Yeah, because I asked this question because like I always want to know that how actually people started their journey, because I have seen many people that they think usually like it is very difficult to speak in a specifically in a new language.
Yeah.
And they usually have that fear in themselves that if they will speak something, and more specifically if they make any sort of mistake while speaking, that is not good.
Yeah.
Because like when I had started, like I personally believe that if you are a self learner, you have to make your process as simple as you can. Because if you make your process lengthy, if you make your process like difficult, you will throw up yourself often, and which is going to be a directly waste of time without getting anything from it.
Yeah.
So like
Thumbs up to you. Thumbs up to you. Make your own environment, guys.
Yeah.
So
Because, and like
may I, the initial behavior is always to follow the fashion, because people learn English because it's in fashion, and it's yeah, and after that, so initial is always the same.
well,
I mean,
yeah, look, because like Anita asked a question a few minutes ago, that would you like to be a self-learner, or would you like to learn something with the help of any teacher? So if I'm going to answer that question, like everything has a base. Like if you have a like clear basics, even though English has, like if you have a like clear basics, you can go on your own. Because I feel that when you try to learn something on your own, you will put yourself into that environment completely 100%. But on the flip side, if you have a teacher, so you won't try to learn things that much efficiently because you have a back support, like in terms of as your teacher. So as long as your teacher won't teach you anything new, you also never gonna try to learn something new on your own. And that is a kind of a like big
I
hindrance
agree.
But
in your learning process.
This works in every kind of I don't know, topic, or in any kind of this kind of approach you're talking about, because without working with yourself, I don't know, I don't, maybe I cannot find the teacher who can just take this knowledge and put in your head. It works in every field, in every field. What
For the very
you want to
beginning,
be, you want to be a good footballer, or you want to be a good cricket player, or you need to work with yourself. Yes, the teacher only helps you to give you some directions
Instruction.
and instruction.
The best teacher are ourselves.
Yeah,
Guys, I think
our
so.
best
Yes.
teacher is ourselves.
Yes.
Guys, having
Because-
passion, okay? Having passion, you go by yourself, okay? But for the very beginning, you need a teacher, okay? But if you have passion,
Like,
go far away. You are your own professor, okay?
At the beginning, teacher is necessary, because at the beginning you don't know how
Because
to walk.
you don't know
You are a
everything.
newborn baby, and you don't know how to. You need someone to help you to start walking, and once you start walking, then you can continue this road by your own.
That's why I mentioned that if you have a clear basics, you can go on your own. As long as you are not having a clear basics, of course you need a help of someone. Like it could be a teacher or it could be a friend.
Yes, guys.
Because-
And okay, go on soon.
Go on, Sunil.
Yeah, and like specifically if we talk about English, like it is a kind of language we have enough resources to put ourselves into the environment completely. And nowadays it is more easy because we have the power of internet. Like we don't have to go to a like proper speaking English country. We can easily practice like the way we are doing right now. But there are few basic principles, like Tony talked about, like you have to think in English, you have to read in English, and just you have to put into context whatever you have just learned. So don't let go any kind of opportunity whenever you are getting an opportunity to speak your new language. Avail that opportunity. And like for me, like the kind of place I am in, like if I'm going to specifically talk about like reading part, like I usually don't take out extra time for my reading, because whenever I go to my college, whenever I attend any of my class, I usually read books in English, because in India there is a like, I can say like kind of a culture. Like after you finished your 5th grade, you have to read everything in English. So it's been over 6-7 years I have been reading everything in English. So I have some sense of English, that how the words of English sounds and how you can pronounce it, and which can people understand. So like these are the like few simple things, and more importantly, you have to get rid of your fear, like fear of speaking. As long as you have that fear in yourself that I can speak, or what people will think when I'm speak, so you won't be able to speak. So these are a few simple things which I think every learner should work on if they want to take their English to a next level.
Also, this fear is very popular with native speakers. Yeah, you can speak maybe with non-natives, but once you appear around natives, this fear is very strong in you. and you
Yes,
need to
guys.
overcome. Yes, you need to overcome this fact
I
that
agree with
you are.
you.
Yeah.
I agree with you, but I want to add that a target is also important. For example, remember that how the baby learn walking. It has two aspects. He or she falls, but he did not recognize it. He was walking, fall down, and stand up and continue to walk. And the second part that they have is target. They want to achieve from point A to point B. This point B may be his parents, maybe something in the room, does not matter. They have a target and they want to achieve it. So,
But okay.
yes,
Yes,
and
Baby does not have enough knowledge, and they don't have this fear, and that's why if they even fall and if they don't, they continue walking. And in case of adults, this is more stressful because you know that someone will judge you much more in much more
yes,
harder
but
than
I want to say that this is not this is not main part when we want to learn something, because we have not concentrate about results. I think the key idea that feel the process. The process must be nice. The feeling that connects to the process must be tasty for us, and results will be honestly, because we works hard, we works hardly. So results is not main. I think the process is main, and feeling about process is key idea when you want some learning to something.
Yeah, but I think like here, if you're talking about like native speakers, like for me, like if you are able to understand the non-native speakers, those who have learned this language in the first place, so I think it is not that much difficult to understand a native speaker, because their pronunciation, their words are more understandable than a non-native speaker. So if
I
someone is
don't.
able to understand a non-native speaker, they can easily understand a native speaker. Like I often talk to many native speakers, like usually from America and UK. Like initially I faced problem, like little bit of issue, but like after like 1 week, then I could understand them like clearly. Then there is a one difference I noticed. Like as long as they are speaking like normally without adding their like cultural things, like it could be like idioms, or it could be like different kind of phrasal verbs, they are pretty much understandable. But they, when add their like culture, like through their idioms, through their like native like phrasal verbs kind of things, that makes their speech more complex and feel us hard to understand them. But if you work on those like particular two things, like over, like you can work on your idiom skills and you can work a little bit on phrasal verb as well, because as non-native speakers we primarily focus at like just vocabulary, normal vocab, just to build our basics. But after that we forget about all these things, like in order to understand the natives. So if you work on your like extra aspects of English, like in, like I told you, idioms and phrasal verbs, you can easily understand. Like for an example, I told this in our previous meetings as well, but like a week ago I was talking to one of my friend, and she is a native speaker and from America. So when she was talking to me, she used few idioms. So I couldn't got her like what she was saying. So when I asked her like what does this specific phrase mean, like which you just told me, so she explained me that what that particular sentence mean. After I got to know the meaning, I could understand her properly. So from that day, I have been consistently, I think it's been more than a week, I have been working on idioms, and I have prepared around like over 100 idioms. which is pretty much often used by people, not that much like which are used by the natives like rarely. So try to pick out that sort of things, and I think that could even help you in a more better way to understand the native. And more importantly, don't hesitate to speak, because like whenever we see a native speaker, in the first place we thought that, oh man, he or she is the native speaker, what she will think if we make any sort of mistake, and that directly like doubt our confidence a little bit. And with that sort of like shortage of confidence, we usually make enough mistakes, and that directly like take us down. So like you have to like be like, you just have to put yourself together and just try to speak with how much you know, and just try to listen them. And when you're going to listen them, you will always learn something new. So these are the few things which I just wanted to say.
Yeah,
I
let's
have a
hear.
question. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a question.
Okay, Nazmur.
As a beginner, so how we learn in intonation and pronunciation?
Are you a beginner, Nazmur? Are you a beginner?
Yeah. When a speaker is a beginner,
Mhm.
so that times how they use in intonation and pronunciation as well.
Okay, as beginner, I can
Yeah,
give a tip, guys. Always listen to native speakers. If you love American, hear from them. In UK and so on, okay? This is my tip for you guys.
Yeah.
I learned pronunciation with native speakers. Mhm. What about you, David?
I practice something like that, I'm listening to, for example, to the book is reading, by, the narrator. And I just, push stop and then repeat every sentence, and then, sometimes I can divide it into some, smaller parts, because it's sometimes difficult for me to just repeat all the sentence, especially where there are a lot of new words for me. So I divided it into parts and then I repeat it. And then I'm concentrating on stress, intonation, the melody of the language, but not on reasoning, but not on, comprehension. Sometimes it doesn't matter what does it mean, or, if I understand all these words properly, it doesn't matter. It just, I'm focusing on repetition. And I think it's a good method. I don't know, but I practice it and we'll see the results, okay? In a few months, I think, yeah.
If you don't know the meaning of the word, you can search for after, okay?
Yeah, because, when you are concentrated on just pronunciation, stress, intonation, that doesn't matter about the meaning, the sentence. Because when you are concentrated on too many things, it just, you can feel confused, and just to be on one thing, with one thing at the particular time. Because sometimes I'm reading or listening just for pleasure, doesn't matter, I don't repeat phrases or just listening. Sometimes it means something like extensive and intensive reading, because I heard about it from the podcaster native speakers. They provide us with a lesson. So intensive reading is, to be aware about all the world, and understand them let them flow, you know, and just enjoy the reading, you know, and both are good, but don't mix them together, you know, just concentrate on one thing. It's my method.
But if you don't understand the meaning of this word and you are just working to pronounce the correctly, what kind of sense do it? For example, for me, it's if I don't understand the meaning of the word and try to pronounce it, it does not make any sense. And how you inspire yourself in that way?
Yeah, okay, I can explain.
Inspire yourself by having passion, okay? Just a moment, guys. We have a couple minutes to finish, okay? Let me introduce Tony from Denmark. She's an English teacher, okay? Tony, feel free to tell them about our English journey, please. All the tips you have, please.
What are you talking about?
English journey. Anita, please, 2 questions to Tony.
Okay, there were 2 questions. First was what is the best, I don't know the best, but what is your method of memorizing things, memorizing vocabulary? And the second one, it was which way is better for you, just to be, because you are, maybe it's a little bit tricky because you are a teacher, you know, so it was a question for the learners, but maybe it's better to learn a language with the help of the tutor or by, you know, themselves, you know, by myself, for example, by my own, on my own.
And it's also good to hear from her too. Your experience. Okay, Tony, please.
So the first question, how do I memorize words or something? It's it depends on what I'm going to memorize. If it's for example, a tongue twister or a song or a rhyme, then I just say it over and over and over again until I remember it. And then maybe it's in the beginning, it's just a line or just some 2 words. And then I go back and look and try to say it without looking on the text. So that's the way I memorize those kind of things. But if it's new words, I think you have to read them firstly, and then you have to use them in your speech. So it's important to, sometimes I have a kind of blackboard on my fridge in the kitchen, and or you can use post-it papers, the small post-it papers, and if there is a new word you want to remember, maybe it's a word that you need sometimes in your talk, then I put it up on the fridge and try to remember it and look at it sometimes when I'm cooking or when I'm doing anything else. I'm just looking, oh, I have to remember this expression. And then suddenly if I have used it a couple of times in my speech, then I feel like I can erase it from the fridge, and then I have learned it. So this is my method. And according to my students, I think it's almost the same. I try to introduce them to the same words a couple of times, and then maybe I expect them to use the words, because that it's like there are different kind of steps in learning words. You have to read them, and you have to write them maybe, and then use them in your oral speech as well. So
yeah, I sometimes I almost tend to use the whiteboard. Yeah. I just write the whiteboard in a new word, and when I feel just comfortable to use this, that times I just remove or abolish the whiteboard and I put the again new words.
But I also think that it's not a question of having a lot of words at one time. Maybe sometimes I just take 2 or 3 words new words in a week.
In a week. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're
it's-
talking about this. Yeah. Mhm.
it doesn't have to be a lot of words because
Yeah.
otherwise you can't remember them.
Mhm. The other hand, we won't fix in our mind. Yeah, you're right.
Mm.
Totally.
And what was the other question? I
Other
don't
question,
remember.
please, Anita. Mhm.
Yeah, the second question was, it's better, what do you think? It's better to to use the help from your teacher or tutor, or it's better to learn by yourself?
It's better to use the first. I didn't get the word help. What is that?
Help.
Help. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you need help to get on with something, so you have to you can't do anything on your own. I don't think so. So and it depends on the level of the student as well, because if some of my students, some of them are very skilled and they can almost manage on their own, and then they just have to ask very seldom about an expression or a word, and other students, they need more help. So I have a girl, she has so many difficulties, so I have to sit next to her and read the text together with her, and explain things to her and make her speak and so on. So
Totally
it
right.
depends on the person and the person's
Yeah,
level. I think.
Yeah.
In
question?
pronunciation that asked Nazmul before, in my opinion, you have a very good pronunciations teachers in YouTube. I remember I write this one. His name is Elliot. I think it's a very good teacher in pronunciation. He has a lot of videos on YouTube.
Okay.
For me,
Thank you.
it's very helpful. Yeah.
Okay. Let me say something. Let me say something, guys. We don't have much times. Wanting to reconnect, we can go in 5 minutes. Okay.
Okay.
I have to make one call,
I have
phone call.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Tomorrow. Okay. Tomorrow we can
Yeah.
go
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah,
Bye bye, guys.
today.
Thank you so much
Yeah.
for coming.
Bye bye.
Okay. Have a nice
Bye.
time.
Thank you.